So Registeel is the new hotness in Pokemon Go, PvP specifically. It's so good that it's ranked number 2 on PvPoke, and it is a tier 0 Pokemon in the Go Stadium cliffhanger format, which basically means it's like a god tier Pokemon, Omega type Pokemon that you absolutely want to have for the Open Great League format. So, with all this hype surrounding around Registeel, I decided to take a look into it and find out why it sucks. In this video, I'm going to be going over why Registeel is good. I'm also going to let you know why you probably might not want to waste your Stardust on it. So right now, why Registeel is good. So it's no secret to a lot of longtime Pokemon analysts that Registeel is now finally good in PvP. Back in the day, before PvP came out, it was just like an announcement. We didn't know the mechanics. It was proffered that Blissey and Registeel would be the 2 dominant Pokemon in the Great League. When PvP actually came out, with all the changes in mechanics, Niantic basically nerfed the heck out of Blissey and Registeel for PvP by giving them completely garbage fast moves for the format. And then to just make sure that there was a big old nail in the coffin, they made Counter a fighting type fast move, which is super effective against them, one of the best fast moves in the game. As a result, nobody really batted an eye at Registeel or Blissey in the Great League format. However, Pokemon analysts, such as myself, were well aware that they were just a couple of moveset changes away from glory. Blissey hasn't seen its day yet, but Registeel is definitely there now with the new fast move, Lock On. Lock On is the fastest energy gaining fast move in the entire game, beating out Thundershock, Psycho Cut, and Mudshot, which is actually pretty impressive. When it comes to Registeel's charge moves, Flash Cannon, and Focus Blast, they are high DPE moves, so very good damage for their energy cost, but their energy cost is so high that the attacks are basically memes. Very few Pokemon utilize these attacks because they're so expensive. But because Registeel has this fast energy gaining fast move, it's able to actually reach these all-powerful attacks. It's able to keep pace with these moves, making it a very devastating Pokemon in PvP. As for its typing, it's a Steel-type Pokemon, which means it falls into the same kind of category as Melmetal, Probopass, and Bastiodon, as like an anti-flyer type Pokemon that can also harass Azumarill and also harass grass types, and just be solid generalists overall. Registeel fits into this role, and not only that, but it beats the other Steel-type Pokemon. It's got Focus Blast. Most of these guys are Steel plus Rock type. They just completely crumple to Focus Blast. And because of these reasons, Registeel is on top. Now, what puts it, I guess, even further on top, the cherry on top, is because with these all-powerful moves, it can also handle some matchups that the other Steel types can't. And it's for these reasons why Registeel is so hyped up in the Great League, why people are lining up to do their special trades per day to try to get a good PvP IV Registeel so they can dominate all their local friends in Open Great League formats. But there are some cracks beneath the surface. Reasons why Registeel isn't that great. Actually, 2 big reasons. Reason number 1 is Ghost-type Pokemon. Alolan Marowak does not care about Registeel. And if you didn't know, Alolan Marowak, its update with Fire Spin, it's actually a really good contender in the Great League now. The Fire Spin allows it to harass Grass-type Pokemon, which is great, and it's a Ghost-type Pokemon, so it can harass the Deoxys Defense form, which is amazing. And Registeel's big. Guess who counters it? Alolan Marowak. But it's not just Alolan Marowak. Haunter also counters the Registeel. Now, I know you're sitting at home thinking, Ryan, Swag, I don't have a Legacy Shadow Ball Haunter, man. That's like one of like the 12 Pokemon that beat this thing and I don't have it. What do I do? You don't need Shadow Ball on your Haunter to beat Registeel. Yeah, it beats it with straight Shadow Punches. It's going to be in the 2-shield scenario anyways. But yeah, straight Shadow Punch. You can have Sludge Bomb for your second attack. Sludge Bomb's super effective against most flying types and Azumarill. So yeah, don't sweat it, man. Or just use a different ghost. But not just those 2. Sableye also defeats the Registeel. Just straight foul play. You don't have to play any weird tricks or games to beat the Registeel. You just beat it with Sableye. So Registeel has all these issues with these ghost-type Pokemon, which Probopass and Bastiodon, mostly Bastiodon, doesn't. So, and then having these Ghost-type Pokemon in the Open Great League, in a Draft League, in Cliffhanger, isn't all that uncommon either because they're all there for the common threat, the Deoxys Defense form, or the idea of fighting types in general. And the Ghost types all have weird, tricky matchups overall. They're pretty fun Pokemon in PvP. But Registeel doesn't manage them as well as Bastiodon does. Bastiodon just shows up and he's like, bleh, throw rocks, I win, I'm Bastiodon. Registeel, on the other hand, not so hot. Then the second big negative for Registeel, which arguably might be an even bigger negative for Registeel, is the fact that it loses to Altaria in the 2-shield scenario, and it loses to Mantine in basically all shield scenarios. 2 flying-type Pokemon. Flying-type Pokemon that Bastiodon and Probopass don't even bat an eye at. Registeel has to bat an eye at them, and Registeel can and may lose those matchups. For those reasons, I don't think Registeel is it. I don't think Registeel is the ace in the hole tier 0 Omega Pokemon people are making it out to be. It loses to the common Ghost-type Pokemon that are present in many teams of 6, and it loses to Altaria, the number 1 PvP Pokemon, mind you, and Mantine, which is another flyer. It beats the Altaria, similar role to Altaria, right, but different, but absolutely loses to Mantine. To put the spin on Registeel's vulnerabilities in a different light, let's consider Deoxys Defense Form and Medicham. Medicham used to be one of the god tier Pokemon, Omega-type Pokemon, in the Great League. Then Deoxys Defense Form came along. Deoxys Defense Form does the same exact job as Medicham because it's got counter, bulky Pokemon with a Psychic typing. It can also defeat the Medicham. So, yeah, Medicham, I do your job, and I beat you. And Deoxys Defense Form has less vulnerabilities than the Medicham does. Now, conversely, let's look at Registeel compared to Bastiodon. Does the same job as Bastiodon? Not exactly. It appears like it's struggling with 2 common flying-type Pokemon. So I can't exactly say it's doing the same exact job as Bastiodon. As far as beating Bastiodon goes, yeah man, 1 Focus Blast, that thing is gone. It is smoked. There is no question that Registeel just absolutely destroys Bastiodon. However, fewer vulnerabilities. The way I see it, it kind of looks like Registeel has more vulnerabilities than Bastiodon does, in a complete meta sense. Since it has these vulnerabilities to Ghost-type Pokemon, Bastiodon doesn't, and vulnerabilities to 2 common flying-type Pokemon, which is what the Steel types are there for to begin with. So I think if you're going to be including Registeel on your team, I don't think you should look at it as a Bastiodon replacement, a Steel-type replacement. I think you should look at Registeel as its own role. And if you decide to have Registeel on your team, you should account for its vulnerabilities to Ghost-type Pokemon and its weaknesses to common flying-type Pokemon. In conclusion, Registeel, really freaking good. It's tanky, it's a Steel type, so really good resistances, and it smashes tons of things with its Omega charge moves that it gets to really quickly because of Lock On. However, I don't feel it's exactly a Bastiodon replacement, and I don't think it's a god tier Pokemon that you absolutely must have. Now, if you already have one, you got on the hype train, you unlock the 2nd charge move and everything, yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's super crazy good. But if you are without a Registeel, or if you're looking at your Stardust and you're looking at your rare candy and you're not sure if Registeel is it, don't sweat Registeel. If there is any tiebreaker, any deciding factor in your mind that might pull you away from Registeel, just know that eventually Jellicent will be in Pokemon Go, and Jellicent clowns Registeel. Freaking Jellicent clowns like everything, but that's besides the point. There are bigger fish coming, and I don't think Registeel is going to stand the test of time. If you got any questions on this content, comment below, let me know what's up, and I'll be happy to help you out. And if you haven't subscribed to SwagTips already, well, do it.